Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today we're going to be talking about gunships, more specifically the new Anvil Paladin, and how that compares to the Aegis Redeemer, though we are going to be talking a lot more about the Paladin, as it is new. But we're also going to be covering a little bit of drama around the ships and clarifications around them too. The Anvil Paladin is a new concept gunship, heavy gunship, that we don't have a release date for yet. It's, very much dedicated at its role of being a gunship. It's very small, or at least relatively small, with a 53 meter length, 14.5 meter height, and 38.5 meter width. It's a bit bigger than the Redeemer. The Paladin represents a formidable heavy gunship engineered by Anvil Aerospace. Its primary purpose is to serve at the forefront of humanity's defense, equipping itself with advanced weaponry to safeguard the UEE from both external and internal threats. Upholding a long-standing tradition, the Paladin exhibits no mercy, systematically neutralizing dangers with an unyielding barrage of laser fire. Featuring an enhanced arsenal of weapons, including an increased number of guns and missiles, the Paladin delivers the powerful performance anticipated from a next-generation gunship, fully prepared for the evolving landscape of warfare. So yeah, this thing has got a good amount of pew-pew, lots and lots and lots. The primary turret, featuring size 5 bearing lasers, quickly disable shields and tough vessels. Basically, that is 4 size 5 weapons on that large remote turret. I believe that requires a dedicated gunner, that one, most likely. Anyway, I'm going to come to that in a minute. But it's on a rail as well, that turret, so it can move from the top center to the rear, and even if the pilot could control that, they would lose that ability of the turret if they could. But that turret is supposed to provide you offensive and defensive opportunities there, because it can obviously fire in the rear, and you can move it so it can cover the blind spots a little better. To protect the Paladin's flanks, 2 dual remote turrets with size 4 weapons cover blind spots and provide a wide firing arc. Each turret can be manned by a crew member, allowing the pilot to focus on navigation, but in a reduced crew scenario, the pilot can now control the wing turrets for defense. So that last bit we just talked about was updated by CIG after a post went up on Spectrum complaining about you're sort of forcing the multi-crew role into ships that don't necessarily need it, or trying to force all turrets into being manually driven by individual crewmen when you don't really need to do that, and it doesn't make sense for the ship to do that. It looks like those wing turrets, they can be controlled by the pilot, but they will lose some of that functionality. They won't be able to point behind the ship. They won't be able to target stuff on the flanks as well. That central turret, though, at the moment anyway, looks like it requires a dedicated gunner, which does make sense. It's a big turret. The ship's got a load of size 4 missile racks, 6 of them in fact, which gives it a reasonable amount of longer range strike capabilities. We do know that obviously you're going to, with larger ships especially, want to strip down shields and defenses and the point defense cannons so that they can't shoot down missiles and torpedoes. And it doesn't look like these are bespoke or anything, these missile racks, so you can change them up for loads and loads of little missiles. I think you could replace that with, 24 size 2 missiles? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. It has blast shields as well. The cockpit is equipped with the capability to activate its own reinforced blast shield, providing enhanced protection rapidly in the event of an imminent threat. The ship, just like the Redeemer, is split over 2 decks. You've got the sort of top deck with the pilot and co-pilot cockpit there, crew habitation, and then stairs to the lower decks. And then on the lower deck, you've got your area for your turrets, your gunners. You've got some suit lockers, which allows you to exit the ship on the side. Kind of quite like that the cockpit is kind of mirrored at the bottom for the gunners. It is all effectively one cockpit, but there's like upper and lower, so you can look down from the upper cockpit and see the 2 gunners below you if they're there. And I believe that the upper co-pilot chair, that's the one that's going to control the central large turret by default. You might be able to go, I can access these turrets from any of the other seats anyway. In fact, CIG say, each turret hardpoint can be manned by a dedicated crew member, allowing the pilot to focus solely on flying while gunners maintain pinpoint accuracy. When operating with a smaller crew, the pilot can take direct control of the wing turrets. During quieter moments, crew members can relax in their own private bunks, with onboard living amenities providing comfort and convenience no matter where the Paladin is deployed. So it's supposed to have a reasonable sort of range, the ship. It's not huge range. It is a gunship. It is supposed to operate sort of like in planetary areas, maybe in a single system. It's not going to want to keep on jumping around. It hasn't got a huge amount of fuel. So it's interesting that you can kind of run this ship with 2 to 4 crew. You've got 2 crew, you've got your co-pilot manning that large turret. The pilot can manage the other weapons. With more crew, you get more functionality for those wing turrets, but also you can have them running off and being an engineer or defending the ship or going off ship and assaulting in FPS. So yeah, the Paladin is available from $260 to $300 based on whether you're buying it War Bond. So War Bond is fresh money, $300 prices for store credit. As a dedicated gunship, this is absolutely fantastic as a ship. Now, the Redeemer is the loaner for the ship. Until the Paladin is ready, you get a Redeemer to use. And the only other ship you can compare this to is the Redeemer. The Redeemer is currently available from $330, so a bit more, but it is flyable. Dual-manned turrets located on the top and bottom of the vessel, each with 2 size 4s, as well as a pair of remote turrets at the nose and tail, 2 size 3s, are strategically positioned to deliver swift and precise offensive power. A pair of guns under the wings, size 4s, as well as missile racks give the pilot weaponry when needed. It also comes with 16 size 2 missiles, lots of pew-pew. So the Paladin wins in terms of overall firepower, in my opinion. It's got loads of size 5s, well, 4 size 5 weapons, and it's got a good amount of size 4 weapons, 4 size 4s. But the Redeemer has more turrets and in sort of more locations, more coverage. The Paladin does win in sort of components as well. It's got an additional medium power plant and cooler over the Redeemer, and a large shield rather than 2 mediums. So obviously balance is going to take place around both ships still. The Paladin very much more because it's obviously in concept. The Paladin just seems like a better dedicated gunship than the Redeemer because it is. The Redeemer is a little bit more multi-role. It has a bit of dropship left in it. It has 4 jump seats and a weapon rack, so you can take your like 4 Marines around with you, in addition to your 2 to 4 crew. I mean, really, you're going to want to run 4 crew with the Redeemer. There's loads of turrets and stuff going on with it. The Redeemer, also, it's got 2 SCU of cargo space, and the Paladin is not suitable for a dropship at all. It's got no cargo space. It's dedicated gunship with the Paladin, and mostly gunship with the Redeemer, but the Redeemer does have those dropship qualities, and it's a bit smaller. But yeah, you want a heavy gunship? You're going to be going for the Paladin. And I suspect we will see other gunships in the future as well. Obviously, one of the interesting things as well with this all is that the Redeemer did get nerfed, dropping its size 5 weapons due to sort of balance. And obviously, is that potentially because of the Anvil Paladin filling in that gunship slot? And they wanted to have a bit of differentiation between the Redeemer and the Paladin. Maybe, but as I said earlier, these ships are going to get balanced a bit more, almost certainly. I do believe there is a role for both in the Star Citizen universe that isn't entirely overlapped by each other. It's not just the Paladin is better. They are different ships. But I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are. Do you love the Redeemer? Do you love the Paladin? Do you think that the Redeemer got nerfed because of the Paladin coming out, or do you see them as very different roles and very different ships? Do you think that the Paladin's going to be nerfed into oblivion at some point anyway? Have you got a Redeemer? Have you bought yourself a Paladin? Or are you going to be getting these things in-game? Please tell me what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear from you.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey there, Timmy. No, that's Northern Claus. No, ho, 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 Timmy. I am normal Santa with presents for you.
You're really a normal Santa?
Yes. Why would I lie about that?
I'll have the one on the left.
There you go, Timmy. Open your lovely box of spiders.
I hate spiders!
So do I, Timmy. That's why I would have picked the other box, which was full of NordVPN. Ho, ho, ho. Use the links below to get nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and help protect yourself online, but also give you better accessibility. It should be part of your Christmassy toolbox. Merry Nordmas, one and all.
Every month we give away a Star Citizenship, and December is no different. We're giving away a Star Lancer Max, the new super freelancer by Misk. This allows you to do a little bit of everything in the verse. It's great multi-role ship, multi-mission ship, and multi-crew. It's flyable in-game right now as well. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during December. That engagement helps the channel. Something else that helps the channel is liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing these videos. Thank you very much to the people that have gone the extra mile by clicking the join button or becoming Patreons. That really helps the channel so much. There'll occasionally be some exclusive content going up there. It'll be like Zin and I playing an escape room. So thank you so much, and feel free to join those lovely people by clicking on the join button or the Patreon link under the videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great
Ho, 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 Nordmas.